Okay, good. Yeah, my cat. Good morning. It is Monday, March 30th, March 29th. It's Monday. My name is Terry Morgan. This is my mid-morning stretch. We have some basic stretches that I learned when I first started studying Tai Chi. So I'm going to focus on those for a little bit. There's some other things that we can do, some floor work and some other stuff it's just good to get up and move around a little bit. So let's start. Feet about shoulder width apart. Your shoulders, not mine, right? So shoulder width apart. And we're going to make a big circle, okay? So this is an outward stretch. You need to stretch all the way up and then stretch out and then come back up. So your hands circle to the front, go back to both sides, up along center line, stretch up, stretch through the back, and reach out, bend your knees, reach out as far as you can. If this is where you stop here. Don't go further than you can go. All the way down, and roll up through the spine. Start at the bottom and roll up. And let's do it again. Stretch out, reach out over the legs, bend the knees, pull in through the abs, relax, and pull up again. Stretch up, reach up, fingertips stretch up, reach out, and let your arms relax. It shouldn't be too limp, but just no tension. And stretch up, do again, reach out over the legs, wiggle your fingers a little bit. No tension in the fingers. Let the arms relax a little bit. This feels good. It's comfy. Maybe you've been sitting at a desk all morning and now you get a chance to get up and get a little stretch. These exercises have both a physical component and a Tai Chi Qigong component. So this outward stretch is in fact what we call in Tai Chi and Qigong the large heavenly circle. We have a small heavenly circle. We have a teeny tiny heavenly circle. I'm not going to talk about all of that so much right now, but I will address that as we progress in some of these classes. What I'd like to do now is to change this stretch just a little bit. So what we just did, we did this outward stretch. So now we're going to do inward stretch. So we started from the inside and we went to the outside. So now we're going to start from the inside and we're going to go to the outside. Okay. Hands come to the front, both sides. Pull up along the center. And instead of stretching out, now drop the elbows, drop the wrist, drop the fingertips. Follow your fingertips down. And again, this is down to where you can go. If this is where you go, stop here and then start up. Okay? And stretch out. Keep your knees bent. You want to arch the back through this exercise, but you don't want to put all of the weight and the strain of doing that on your back. So bend your knees, use your hips to support your lower body. So there's not all that much that your back has to support as you're coming up. Again, one more time. Follow your fingertips. Roll down through the back. Stretch out. And come up. One more time. Now, if you've noticed and you're following along with me, you will have noticed that there's a lot of work going on in the legs. There's a lot of work going on in the abs, in the upper back, the lower back. This is a really good exercise for the whole body. So we have another similar set that goes to the side. Okay, again, it's a circle. Everything's a circle. Hand circle to the front. And up along the center. Turn to the left. Stretch out over the legs. Bend your knees. Stretch up. Talk about this just for a second. What you want to do with this stretch is to really open the hip joint. So we kind of think of our legs as just from here down. For a lot of folks, we think this is, I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do with my leg, and my leg starts about here, and it goes, it doesn't. Your leg starts up here. It's way up here. So with the stretch, what you want to, as you turn, right, we're here, as you turn, you want to turn in the hip. Leave the leg where it is, turn the hip, open the leg in the hip socket, right, turn the hip, open the leg. You don't want to turn this just over to here. Leave the leg, turn the hip. Yeah. Oh, it feels different, does it? Yes, it does. Okay, let's try that. Hands to the front. Come up. Right. Turn to the left side. Keep your leg where it is. Turn in the hip. Reach out over the leg. Open the hip. And turn. Yes, you will feel this later in your hips. If you're doing it correctly, you will feel it later. And that's a good thing. And as you turn, try to keep the movement as smooth and continuous as possible. So you don't have any sharp turns. Even now we stop. We're going to turn to the other direction. Even as you do that kind of thing, you're not having, it's not an abrupt motion. It's a smooth and continuous motion. We have some breathing that goes with this, and I will talk about that in just a minute. One more time. Focus right now is on opening your hip. So keep the leg straight. Keep the knee bent. Center. Elbows drop down, wrist, fingertips, hands return to your sides. So with these stretches, we have multiple things going on, and this is I would call it layering, that we have with a lot of our internal arts practice. So You learn one thing, that enables you to do something else, and when you can do that, then you can do something else. So by giving an instruction that says, pay attention to the circulation through the Bai Hui, the Huiyin, and the Yongchuan, isn't going to help you if you don't know what those are, and if you're not comfortable yet with the movement that you're doing. How can I ask you to focus on something else? It's counterproductive. So for learning, right, we get started. First thing we do is pay attention to the movement. It's the external part. What are my hands doing? What are my feet doing? What's my back doing? What's my body doing? What are my hips doing? Oh, body parts. Basic anatomy. This is what we've got to work with, so that's what we do. So the first thing, what am I doing? Well, for this exercise, we have the feet about shoulder width apart. And the feet don't really go much anywhere else. Not for this exercise. We have other ones that do, but this one not so much. What happens with this exercise is some bending in the knees, right? So as we're doing these circles, we're bending and changing, right? A lot of circulation through the upper body, especially paying attention to the back and opening up the spine, paying attention to the hips, shoulders, right? We want to focus on that part right now. As you get better at, okay, yeah, I don't have to think about bending my knees anymore. I do it kind of as a reflex. I don't really have to think about keeping my hip open. I do that as a reflex when I get started. Now we can start talking about maybe some timing for when you should be at what point and this sort of thing. We can start talking about the breathing, how the breathing works together with the movement. If I ask you to focus on your breathing at the very beginning, what happens is some people will hold their breath, which is totally counterproductive. Holding your breath is no good. Other people will be so concerned with their breathing that they're not paying attention to the outward movement. So as you get the outward movement, become comfortable with that, then we start to focus on the breath. We start to focus on how the movement actually works and those transfers. And then there's more. So for right now, let's do this outward stretch, and then we'll do the inward stretch. And then we'll go to the left side, and then we're going to go to the right side. So outward, we're going to go 6 times, inward 6 times, left side 3 times, right side 3 times. Feet about shoulder width apart, relax, smile. Right? You want this, after you get done, you should feel good. Right? So relax, hands circle to the front, and back to the center, up along center line. So outward 6 times is 1.
And when you get down and pet the cat,
It's good for petting cat. And stretch all the way up, reach out. Stretch. Again, stretch up, reach out, all the way out. Keep your shoulders down, but stretch as much as you can.
and relax.
Roll up through the back. Reach out.
Relax through the lower back. Release the hips.
Roll up. 2 more times. Shoulders down, stretch out.
Reach the fingertips.
One more. Stretch out. Relax the neck.
Cat the cat.
And roll up through the back. And elbows drop down. Wrists. Fingertips. Follow your fingertips down. Start the inward circle. This is 1. As you roll down,
Grab just a little bit.
grab the surface that you're on, grab the inside of your shoe with your toes, so you have a sense of your toes gripping the ground just a little bit, just slightly. Not a lot, just a little. Three more. Smile. Last time, big smile. And drop your elbows, drop your wrists. You come back to center and open again to go to the left side.
And cat the cat.
Remember to bend your knees. Your legs are working through this, right? Even though you should be trying to keep your legs more or less straight to the front, your knees are bending, upper leg is working, back of the leg especially is doing a lot of work. And turn around to the other side, right side.
Cat the cat.
Yeah, I'm not gonna loan her out, but y'all can get your own cat, and it is a good, if you got a dog, the dog can get petted too. But it gives you a little distraction. It's not always a bad thing to be a little distracted.
Especially if it's a furry friend.
All right, in center, elbows drop down, wrists, fingertips, hands return to both sides. Relax. So when I very first learned these stretches, I was learning Yang style Tai Chi, and I found that this particular set, along with a couple more that I'll add in next time, was one of the most overall beneficial sets that we did. Whole body, whole body stretch, everything works. The Qigong element to it is something that I highly value. And it's just feels comfortable when you're done. If I could get up and do, you know, a little morning workout, this is kind of the one that I would do if I'm getting up from the desk and I got to do something. This is one of the workouts that I do. I'm happy that you stopped by today, and thank you for joining me. And I'll be here on Wednesday for the morning stretch. See you then.